The Israelites confessed their sins. On the 24th day of the same month, the Israelites gathered together, fasting and wearing sackcloth and having dust on their heads. Those of Israelite descent had separated themselves from all foreigners. Remember in Ezra how they had intermarried, and we talked about all that stuff. Go back to that previous Bible study, because there's not a whole lot of time in this one. I'm looking at the time and like, so, but the reason is because they had married people who were not believers, like will not believe, were not going to believe. And we'll talk about that too, especially in the New Testament at another time as well, about the Lord created us, and he gives us a choice. And we'll talk about that too. Because we're under a time of faith, and he gives us a choice. He gives us a choice. Do you believe in him or do you not? And so we're going to talk about, it's a hot topic. We're going to talk about it right now, but right now we're talking about how the people were intermingled with, they had married and intermingled with people that were not believers, were not going to believe. They worshiped they did their own thing. And so the people who were leaders like Nehemiah and Ezra were like, hey, we need to allow those people to go. Allow those people, separate ourselves, because they refuse. They're never going to they're not going to believe. They don't want to believe. They've already made their life's decision. And so we know that there are believers and there's people who want to believe. So that's what they're doing. Again, this is back in the law. This is back in the Old Testament. And and you have to, they just came out of exile. They're trying to worship the Lord again. And here they not only do they have people already, Sanballat and such, who are against them, but even within their families, they have people against them. They have people who are against worshiping the Lord. And so they're trying to separate that out. They're trying to push that out. And they're not being, they're allowing them to leave. They're not doing them harm. They're saying, okay, we're worshiping our Lord now. Got to separate ourselves from those who we're just never going to believe, who don't believe and want to have their own thing. Before I go on, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think? And if you go back to that Bible study, but there'll be more on that too. That's a taboo topic right there, intermarriage and all that stuff. It's a lot. Keep reading. Seek the wisdom and understanding, because I know a lot of times people think that it means not mixing the races, and that is incorrect. It's a lot. I know I'm trying not to go over it. Okay.